Hello friends, Stevie B here. It's been a little while. I've got myself a fresh coffee. Let's get into this. So I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time because, as some of you already know, my adventures in stock music or royalty-free music, whatever you want to call it, that was really the sole reason why I started this channel in the first place. But so much has changed over the last year or 2 years, really, that I feel like I need to update you on where I'm at with production music as a whole. And stick around because I'm going to also share my last royalty statement with you guys and show you exactly why I've kind of changed my mind and 180'd on everything. To preface this discussion, I kind of need to clarify the fundamental differences between stock music and sync music. This is something that I've discussed before on this channel, but it could be sort of confusing if you're new to the whole music licensing space. To break it down in like the simplest of terms, there's basically two different kinds of music libraries. So there's stock or royalty-free libraries that are really popular with content creators and YouTubers especially. Some of the more familiar ones would be like Motion Array, Epidemic Sound, Pond5, Audio Jungle, or Envato Elements. And then on the other hand, you have these exclusive production libraries that serve the market for TV, for film, for trailers, and so on. And it's not quite as black and white as that. There's libraries that are kind of a hybrid of both. But in any case, where my journey started in all of this was in stock music. So like I said, things have changed a lot. I haven't uploaded anything to any of the stock libraries that I used to work with in quite a long time, actually. A couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to start working with a few different publishers, as well as an agency, and I just decided to go all in on sync music. I still write a lot of music for Artlist, but all of my music with them is now exclusive as well. And they're kind of an outlier in all of this because even though they, market themselves as a royalty-free library, they're such a dominant force in the whole music licensing space that their catalog really gets around. My Artlist tracks, they show up in not only YouTube videos and user-generated content, but like TV, films, podcasts, radio, and some of it does well on streaming platforms as well. But anyway, like gone are the days of my non-exclusivity, where I had the flexibility to upload the same track to like 3 different stock sites and also register it with Content ID. Those days are gone. They're behind me now. And the simple reason for that is that I just don't feel as though there's enough opportunity for long-term income potential without being able to collect performance royalties. That's really what it comes down to. And unfortunately, as many of you already know, there's little to no chance of your stock music being used in TV or film. And on top of that, the revenue sharing from these stock music sites has been steadily declining for years now. And if I'm being completely honest, a lot of the times it really kind of feels like a race to the bottom. I think some platforms are better than others, for sure. But, a lot of people still ask me about stock sites. And, I guess if I had to sum it all up, I would say if you want to do music licensing on like easy mode, then try Pond5. You won't have to deal with any rejection. The quality bar is like quite low. You may even get lucky and make a few bucks. I made a sale on Pond5 just the other day, actually. So there's nothing wrong with that approach. But I would say that if you're looking to get your music placed on TV shows and in those coveted spots where you can actually start collecting performance royalties, then you have to start pitching your music elsewhere. So let's talk about performance royalties. These are royalties that I receive whenever my music gets placed on TV shows and in advertisements and on radio. A few months ago, I shared how my performance royalty earnings had jumped from, basically around a few $100 per quarter, which they'd been at for years, to nearly $5,000. And I was, of course, like super stoked to see that. And I've been kind of holding my breath for the last few months in anticipation of this most recent statement, which I just got a few days ago. And now it's, crystal clear that shifting my focus away from royalty-free stock music platforms to writing sync music for exclusive production libraries and publishers was absolutely the right move. So this last quarterly statement for Q2 of 2024 was more than double what I made on the previous one. And yeah, I just couldn't be happier about it. Clocking in at nearly $11,500. And I hope this doesn't come across like some kind of flex. I always feel sort of weird talking about my income. But let me tell you, I've actually met quite a few people who are making way more than this. Believe it or not, this isn't actually that crazy. I have some friends who are quietly killing it on the back end. And knowing what kind of earnings are possible from performance royalties is, of course, one of the big reasons why I kind of restructured my approach this last couple of years. The whole statement is very, very long. There's hundreds of placements, but there's a few big winners, like this track Slaptastic here, got placed on tons of stuff in this quarter. We've got a couple of placements on British Basketball League here that were pretty lucrative, nearly $3,500 for those. Lots of reality TV here. We got like a Real Housewives of New York placement. I've got a lot of music on Below Deck, Vanderpump, that kind of thing. And oftentimes, unfortunately, these statements are missing a lot of information. Like I've got a placement here for this track I wrote called Whipped Cream, which is worth like $2,400, but there's no information about what the placement was, which is kind of a bummer. And that's often the case when I get these statements. For the most part, I think that's probably just due to the fact that the cue sheets aren't properly filled out. The reason that I'm so stoked on this development is that I felt really apprehensive about pursuing sync music initially. And I think that a lot of people share the same doubts that I did. It's like, okay, so I'm going to sign this exclusive contract. I'm going to give up my publishing share. There's no guarantees. And wait, even if I do get a placement, I'm not going to see any royalties for like a year or more. I always felt like that was kind of a tough sell. And frankly, you're putting a lot of faith in this idea that the publisher is going to find you placements. But I have to be honest, what made the decision easier for me was seeing the rapid decline in many of these stock music platforms. And when Pond5 made the announcement that they were going to start training the catalog on AI, I thought to myself, like, okay, maybe now would be a good time to start focusing my energy elsewhere. But that's a whole other discussion. So look, I know the title and the thumbnail for this video is like a bit hyperbolic. To be clear, I still know people who bring in monthly income from Motion Array and other royalty-free libraries. And, I still make the occasional sale myself. I'm not saying it's impossible to make some income on those platforms. And I'm not here trying to shit on them or anything like that. I'm actually really grateful for them because, that's how I got my start in all of this. But I do want to be completely transparent about where I'm at with production music. That's really what this channel has always been about. My intention with sync music at this point is to make well over 6 figures a year on performance royalties alone. I'm going all in. Last year, those royalties only accounted for a small percentage of my overall music income, but I believe that this year is going to be the start of a big shift. And yeah, I don't know, I'm really excited to keep you guys posted on it. I'm certainly going to be talking a lot more about sync music on this channel. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that it is absolutely possible to start getting placements, but I don't want to sugarcoat it in any way and tell you that it's been easy. I've definitely worked super hard this last couple years, and it's been a struggle to keep up with this YouTube channel. I'm not going to lie, which actually bums me out because I love YouTube, but I've been writing 4, sometimes 5 tracks a week while also trying to create course content for the Production Music Academy. Check out the link to the Academy below, by the way. There's over a dozen production courses there. Got to sneak a little shameless promo in before I wrap this up. But yeah, there's definitely times when I don't get enough sleep, but all is well. And yeah, I hope you don't mind me ranting a little and just sharing with you where I'm at currently. I don't know, sometimes I wonder if I should take down all of those old stock music videos that I made because people still comment on them all the time. And I feel as though they're kind of outdated at this point, and I have a responsibility to keep this community posted on what's happening currently. So here I am. Anyways, thanks for listening. As always, I appreciate you guys. Would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll leave it there. See you next time. Take care.